From Stinky Pete secretly manipulating everyone to Lotso slowly rotting on the front of a garbage truck, today we're breaking down 10 dark Toy Story secrets and theories that Pixar never wants you to talk about. But first, if Toy Story made you cry as a kid, drop a cowboy emoji. And if you're a Pixar fan, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Number 1, Toy Story 4 betrayed everything the trilogy stood for. What if Toy Story 3 was already the perfect ending and Pixar broke it on purpose? Think about it. For 15 years, the trilogy was one of the most emotionally complete stories ever made. Woody's entire arc was about loyalty, purpose, being there for a child no matter what. Toy Story 3 ended with him passing that torch to Bonnie. The next generation, beautiful, done, perfect. Then Toy Story 4 arrived and dismantled all of it. Woody abandons Bonnie. Buzz gets turned into a clueless punchline. Jessie, Rex, Slinky sidelined completely for new characters nobody asked for. Even Quentin Tarantino said he refused to watch it because the trilogy was already so perfect. No sequel could justify existing. It wasn't just unnecessary, it was a betrayal, and they're making a 5th one. Number 2, Stinky Pete manipulated everyone and nobody noticed. Wait, what if the greatest villain in Pixar history never once acted like one? That's exactly what makes Stinky Pete terrifying. No red flags, no yellow flags. He's warm, patient, fatherly. The only one who doesn't pressure Woody. While Jessie throws tantrums and Bullseye breaks down, Stinky Pete just helps, quietly, consistently, never asking for anything back. But here's what he was actually doing the whole time. He turned on the TV to sabotage Woody's midnight escape, then made sure the remote was sitting next to Jessie's box so she'd take all the blame. He planted ideas in Woody's head so carefully that Woody thought they were his own decisions. He never lied. He just made one option look better than the other, then told Woody to choose freely. The most dangerous villain in Toy Story never raised his voice once. Number 3, Stinky Pete's real motive is heartbreaking. But here's the part that hits different. Stinky Pete wasn't born evil. He was built that way by rejection. He spent his entire existence on a shelf, never chosen, never played with, never loved. Jessie at least had Emily, Woody had Andy. Even Lotso had Daisy before things went wrong. Stinky Pete had nothing, just the view from inside a sealed box watching other toys get picked while nobody ever reached for him. So he did what rejected people do? He convinced himself he didn't want it. Kids destroy toys, museums are better, children are the problem. Classic sour grape syndrome, he rewrote his own pain into a philosophy. And then he tried to drag everyone else into it. Because if nobody gets to be loved, at least he's not the only one who missed out. Number 4, Lotso's fate is one of the darkest things Pixar ever put on screen. Did you actually think about what happens to Lotso after that garbage truck scene? Because Pixar snuck something genuinely horrifying past you. He gets strapped to the front of a truck by a random stranger. Can't move, can't escape. Mud, insects, rain, hitting him in the face constantly. No one to talk to except whatever other toys are tied up next to him, toys he probably hates. And here's the darkest part. Toys in the Pixar universe are conscious. Lotso feels all of it. Every mile, every splatter, slowly deteriorating, losing limbs, eventually becoming just a head with rotting fabric, still aware, still suffering, either waiting for an incinerator or to be buried under a mountain of trash. He smelled like strawberries. Now he rots on a bumper. Pixar never showed that ending on purpose. Before we move to the next number, let's see if you can guess this movie just from emojis. Drop your answer. I want to know who the real animated movie fan is here. Number 5. Wheezy started the entire plot of Toy Story 2 and was never seen again. Here's the Toy Story detail that genuinely nobody talks about. Without Wheezy, none of Toy Story 2 happens. Wheezy is the broken penguin gathering dust on Andy's shelf. When Andy's mom grabs him for the yard sale, Woody panics and tries to rescue him and gets stolen by Al in the process. The airport chase, Jessie's backstory, Stinky Pete's manipulation, the entire movie. All of it traces back to one broken, squeaky toy. Then by the end, he's singing his lungs out like he's headlining a concert. And after that, gone. Never appears in 3 or 4. The theory? Wheezy was originally a dog toy. That's why he had a squeaker. That's why Buster was always near him. When his squeaker broke, Buster lost interest. When he got donated, a family probably took him home thinking he was for their dog. And that was it for the toy who started everything. Number 6, Etch-a-Sketch, Lenny, and Mr. Spell were all quietly erased. And here's where it gets even darker. 3 of Andy's most loyal toys didn't get dramatic exits. They just disappeared between films with zero explanation. Etch-a-Sketch was basically the team's intelligence officer. drawing wanted posters, mapping escape routes, tracking missions in real time. Gone by Toy Story 3. Pixar quietly confirmed in a press release he was donated. No goodbye scene, just a goodwill bin. Lenny the binoculars, the recon guy, the one who spotted everything first, vanished the same way, never mentioned, never shown leaving. For a toy whose entire purpose was seeing everything, nobody saw him go. Mr. Spell ran seminars, helped decode Al's license plate, was essential in 2 films, disappeared because a 10-year-old Andy had no use for a spelling toy anymore. He's probably in Bonnie's toy box right now, alive, forgotten, 3 loyal toys, 0 farewells. Number 7. Sid's mutant toys were never villains. They were survivors. Wait, what if the scariest toys in Toy Story 1 were actually the most innocent ones? Sid's mutant toys look horrifying. Doll heads on spider legs, baby faces on mechanical claws, bodies stitched together from other bodies. But here's what the movie quietly tells you. None of them are evil. Not one. They wander Sid's room in the shadows, fixing each other when they break, protecting each other from the next disaster. They don't talk, they don't attack, they just survive in the worst toy environment imaginable. And when Woody finally uses them to scare Sid straight, they don't celebrate. They just go back to the shadows. After Toy Story 1, never seen again. The theory says Sid, mentally broken by talking toys, went into a rage and destroyed everything in that house. The note found later just read, "The toys. The toys are alive." Whatever happened after that, Pixar never told us, and that might be intentional. Number 8. Chuckles disappeared because of something that happened in real life. Here's the Toy Story theory that nobody talks about. Because it's not really a theory, it's just sad. Chuckles the clown from Toy Story 3 had one of the most touching backstories in the entire franchise. He was Daisy's toy, abandoned with Lotso and Big Baby when she accidentally left them behind. That scene where he recounts it, quietly devastating. He was one of Bonnie's toys by the end of the film. Then Toy Story 4 came out and Chuckles was completely gone. Not a cameo, not a background appearance, nothing. The reason, Bud Lucky, Chuckles' voice actor, passed away. And Pixar has a quiet policy of retiring characters when their voice actors die. They consider the performance inseparable from the character. Recasting would feel wrong, so they just let him disappear. No explanation given, no goodbye offered. Chuckles didn't vanish because of a story reason. He vanished out of respect. Number 9. Rocky Gibraltar, The Barrel of Monkeys, and Combat. Carl all deserved better. And here's where it gets even bigger. The background toys who actually did the work got nothing. Rocky Gibraltar broke into Sid's backyard in Toy Story 1. Silent, powerful, essential to the rescue mission. Gone by Toy Story 2. No send-off, fans think he was donated during Andy's clean-out. But one theory just says Andy sat on him. Either way, a pro wrestler toy who helped save Buzz deserved more than a quiet death off camera. The Barrel of Monkeys were literally the team's emergency response unit. Need a chain across a gap? Monkeys. Need a rescue line? Monkeys. By Toy Story 3, not even a pile of limbs in the corner. And Combat Carl, blown up by Sid in the first film with no lines and no farewell. He got his moment years later in Toy Story of Terror, voiced by Carl Weathers himself. But the original Carl, first casualty of Sid's toy apocalypse, never avenged. Number 10. Every toy that disappeared is still conscious somewhere, and that's the darkest part. Here's the theory that reframes the entire Toy Story universe, and it's the one Pixar never addresses directly. Toys in this world feel everything. Lotso felt every mile on that bumper. Wheezy felt every day gathering dust on that shelf. Edge felt the moment he got dropped in a Goodwill bin. Lenny is still in some box somewhere, seeing nothing, waiting for a light that never comes. They're not turned off when they're abandoned. They're just stuck, conscious, alone, waiting. The franchise is built on friendship, loyalty, and finding your kid. But the other side of that world, the side with the forgotten toys, the donated ones, the broken ones, is one of the most quietly terrifying things in any animated universe. Woody got Andy, he got Bonnie, he got Bo Peep. But for every Woody, there are 100 toys sitting in darkness, still feeling everything, hoping someone opens the box. That's not a children's movie. That's an existential nightmare wrapped in plastic. And that's it. Which one destroyed you the most? Lotso rotting on that truck, or the toys who disappeared with zero goodbye? Drop it in the comments. If you want part 2, smash that like button and subscribe, because we're going even deeper into Pixar's darkest secrets next time.